We flew from Lisbon to Dublin for the first time, and the trip got off to quite a rocky start. Now I understand the song Rocky Road to Dublin even more. We missed our morning flight and could only be rebooked on the last flight out of the evening, which meant we missed a whole day in Dublin. Then when I was walking around the airport, I realized I didn't have any mascara on, and our flight was delayed 2 hours. Clearly the mascara was the most stressful part of the day. The flight was completely booked, so we had to check our carry-ons, but eventually we did make it to the hotel. Then the next morning when I was getting ready, I realized I had no type of proper straightener or curling iron. Thank goodness for TikTok hacks. But besides all of that and my ridiculous vanity aside, we had an amazing day one in Dublin. Our first stop was at Trinity College. We had booked tickets for the morning slot at the Book of Kells, which was incredible, even though it was very crowded. The old library is going through a restoration period, so they only had 16,000 of the, I think, 200,000 books out, but it was still incredible to see. As an avid reader, I was in heaven, as you can see from this very unflattering angle of me. Clearly, my vanity has ceased. The rest of the campus was absolutely beautiful, and then there was this additional museum part that was really fun to check out as well. After checking out the college, it was of course time for matcha. We went to this little cafe, had this matcha bar, and had the worst matcha of my life. So of course to feel better, I needed food. We tried to go to Fish Shop, but they were fully booked, so we went to this other place that was supposed to have crab claws, but they took them off the menu. At this point, I was like 0 and 3, but the broccolini at this place was amazing. We decided to only get appetizers here and then go to the Harry Lemon down the street to get fish and chips. I didn't actually record it, but it was the best fish and chips we had the entire trip. What I love about Dublin is that it's really walkable, just like Lisbon, but without the hills. It was a beautiful day, a bit chilly, but the sun was out, so after lunch we walked over to St. Patrick's Cathedral. It was stunning. Then on our walk over to Dublin Castle, we found this really cute little art shop with the most creative and interesting prints. The castle was okay, but the best part was actually Dublin Garden right across the street. It's a beautifully manicured green space that is perfect for reading, having a little picnic, hanging out with friends. There were a lot of people, but it didn't feel very crowded when we were there. There's also a museum as part of the garden, and they had a really interesting exhibit. It's an unwritten rule that when you're in Ireland, you have to go to as many churches as possible, so then we also went to Christ Church Cathedral. Finally, we ended the day at this New Orleans-inspired restaurant. This is the only clip I got using my light because I was actually mortified doing this. I could not be bothered to throw off the ambiance in this restaurant just trying to get clips for TikTok, so you can't really see the food. But we got some shrimp, crispy pork belly, chicken ten with a little honey musk, mac and cheese, grits, beignets, the works. And that was day one in Dublin.